morning everyone. We are the Group 1 and today we're going to tackle a topic which is titled Goal Setting under the main topic Managing and Caring for the Self. Hi everyone, my name is Baliguat and here's our learning objectives to our topic. First objective is to determine what is goal setting. Second is to know and understand the theories and principles of goal setting. Third one is to discover ways to build self-efficacy and its factors.
Good day everyone, I am Christian Joseph A. Gamboa and today I will talk about the definition of goal. But first, let me ask you, what do you want to become in the future? Me, I want to be an officer and maybe a captain in the ship in the future. And the things that we want to achieve is called goal. So a goal is defined in dictionary as an objective or target that someone is trying to reach or achieve. Just like what I answered that I want to become an officer of the ship in the future. So if there are things that you are trying to do alone, by pair, by group, to achieve and accomplish something, then it's a goal. And also, another definition according to Quimod 2001, a goal is a target, objective of a motivated and directed chain of behavior. Wherein, if we set our goal, then our behavior would follow. For example, if we set our goal to achieve high grades, then our behavior would change too. We will focus our time and attention in studying and limiting ourselves in free time to achieve the goal. And having the right or good goals is followed by right or good behavior. The most common example of it is during New Year's Eve, wherein we promise ourselves to change, and that promise is goal. If your goal is to become a thrifty or a person that uses money and other resources carefully and not wastefully, then on the next day of the new year, you only buy and use the things that you only really need, and that's become your behavior. That follows after you set your goal of being thrifty. But the question here is, after you set that goal, are you being thrifty all the time? That's the question you need to answer, because in setting goal or in achieving goal, we should be consistent in our efforts to maintain and reach that certain goal we set. So our behaviors would follow and we could achieve or we could successfully achieve that goal. And we could be conscious and unconscious having goals. Sometimes even if we say, I don't have goals, we really have goals, but we are just unconscious in setting that. Example, you quit your goal of being thrifty because you are tired of it and to just splurge your money that you saved. Even if you think that you don't have goal anymore because you quit being thrifty, a goal that you set consciously, you just unconsciously set a new goal that is to stop being thrifty and splurge the money that you saved. Also, goals come in all forms and sizes. Some can be reached quite easily, while others entail more effort, careful planning, and a longer time to achieve. All of us have similar and different goals, wherein no matter how small or big it is, we want to accomplish that goal or achieve that goal. There are goals that are easy to achieve, like I will clean my room today. It is easy to achieve, less time, and needs not that much effort to accomplish. But there are goals that are big, like the goal to become a captain of the ship, wherein you need to plan it carefully, needs a long time to achieve, and because it is a big goal, then it needs to be dissected. Or like a ladder, we need to step one at a time to achieve that goal, and it will not happen instantly, and it needs effort in every step of the way. And goals may vary and depend on the values and priorities of an individual. Each one of us has own values and priorities depending on our age group, and because of that, our goal differs. Example, you and your brother that has a 5-year age gap are working and are earning. Your brother with age of 25 spend his money to buy house and lot and saving for he wants to settle, for his priorities is to have family, while you 20 years old choose to buy the latest gadget and computers, for that are your priorities. And our goals may be influenced with the values and the society. If you ask what are the goals of the teens and adults, it would surely vary. And having the right values means having the right goals, and it is followed by right behavior. And our goal should be in the control of an individual, or our goal should be controlled by us. So goals are important for behavior to make sense. Since our goals is directed into behavior, it is important for us to know the reason why are we doing things. For if we do not know what we are doing, then we stop. we lose our interest and passion in doing it if we don't have any goal. So it is important to ask why I am doing this. Why do I need to do this? And many more questions. So we should have goals and remind ourselves to the goal we are trying to pursue in order for our action to have sense. Example, you don't want to become an accountant and you want to be a photographer, but you don't have any choice since you don't have any goal on that accounting career. You lose interest and the passion in the things you are doing and does not make sense to you on why you are doing it. Unlike if you really pursue the photography wherein you will be passionate and interested in what you are doing because you have a goal to be a known photographer, to be a successful photographer, and your behaviors and action make sense for you want to be a known photographer. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day once again. I am Kian Baliguat, and today's topic is all about Locke's goal setting theory. So, what is goal setting theory? Does it affect ourselves? What does goal setting theory do to us? Let's find out. But before we dig in, let us define what is goal setting theory. Goal setting theory refers to the effects of goals on subsequent performance. So goal setting theory is goals you set through your journey and the effects of that goals to yourself throughout your career or life. Every person has a goal in life like me. One of my goals is to become a captain of a ship. Not only on the ship but also in life, because being a captain has a lot of responsibilities yet a fun thing to have. One of a captain's responsibility is to keep the ship safe and its crew inside of it. Yes, it is a hard task, but it is fun because you get to get along with your crewmates and have fun, which can form into memories that may bring throughout your life or my life, because every single one of them is one of the instruments that made me reach my goal. But why is goal setting so important to us? So by setting goals for oneself, it gives the person the motivation to strive hard to achieve the success she or he wants. For example, my goal is to become a captain, and before I reach that goal I must face challenges so that I can reach my goal and tell that I am a worthy captain. Because of that goal, I get motivated to study hard to get good grades, and once I graduated with flying colors, I will apply to a company, which is a step towards my goal. But aside the self motivations, we can be also motivated to the things we see, such as to the things we see outside, not in the inside of us, such as seeing seafarers who became successful captains. So that's the importance of goal setting. So I must not dig deeper because this topic will be discussed by the other group. So let's proceed to Locke's goal setting theory. In Locke's goal setting theory, Dr. Edwin A. Locke stated that goals and intentions drive human behavior and are determined by values and beliefs. So Locke's theory talks about the effects of setting goals to people. So when a person sets a goal and starts working on it, that person changes its behavior. It gets excited or makes that person happy and will behave according to the standards of that goal. Another behavior is the person will be motivated to work because that person wants to reach that goal so that she or he can be satisfied. But that effect is determined by values and beliefs. So in reaching that specific goal successfully, you need to have the values and beliefs that have significance to the goal you are setting. So Locke has made 5 principles of goal setting, and those 5 principles are the clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, and task complexity. So let's start first in clarity. Clarity. Clear goals are measurable, unambiguous, and behavioral. So in setting goals, clarity should be part of it, because when your goals are clear, you know what you are trying to achieve. For example, you want to become a captain. Does that goal excite you or make you feel motivated? If yes, then you are on the right track. But if not, then it's not really what you want to achieve. So you must find other goals that will make you feel motivated. Because when your goal is vague, your mind gets bombarded and will not know what to do. So the second one is challenge. Challenge. When setting goals, make each goal a challenge. Challenge is also a part of setting goals because it is where we get more motivated. By setting challenges to ourselves. For example, to become a captain, first, I must have good grades in school so that many opportunities will come to me. So my challenge right there is to have good grades, and it can be done when I study hard. Remember, do not set challenges that you cannot take because it is one factor that hinders you to your goal. So the third one is commitment. Commitment. Put deliberate effort into reaching a goal. So in commitment, when you set goals, you must be committed to it, because when you are committed, you do things that you can't do when you're still not committed. If that goal is achievable, because being committed is same as taking risk. People take risks despite of the uncertainty, but somehow that risk will be paid off and that will be a good outcome. And the next two principles will be discussed by Mr. Venz Potane, and my report ends here, and thank you very much. The stage is yours, Venz.
What's up, Bananap? Good morning, everyone. I am Venz Potane, and today I will report about the 5 principles of goal setting and SMART goals. So first is, we will talk about goal setting. So why is it important that we learn about goal setting or know about it? So goal setting is fundamental to long-term success. It could help us students, me, you, basta students, to focus upon the journey to a collection of set achievements. So it will help us to keep our mind at one thing and at one path. So meaning we would allocate our resources and time more efficiently and can access motivation during times when we may feel like giving up. It will help us motivate ourselves when we are facing difficulty on our studies. For example, you may feel depressed because you have low score on a certain subject, and then with the help of remembering your goal, you will strive to make it better next time, or the better luck next time. Then we will proceed. So feedback and task complexity. So what is feedback? Feedback provides opportunities to clarify expectations, adjust goal difficulty, and gain recognition. So you must listen to the feedback of other people so that you will know what is wrong and what is the correct things you did. And it will also serve as a guide for your next improvement. And then feedback doesn't need to always come from other people. If you trust yourself, if you have confidence in yourself, feedback may come from your own. For example, I'm doing this report. After this, after I recorded this, I will watch it and identify the things that I need to improve. Next is task complexity. So, task complexity, if a goal is complex, ensure that the work doesn't become too uncontrollable. Make sure that you know how difficult and complex your task is so that you can adjust your goal based on the complexity. So, for example, you're given a task to, for example, this report. We are given a task to report a certain topic. Then your goal must be aligned with the difficulty of the topic, or how can you make your topic um, understandable and precise. Next is we will talk about SMART goals. So SMART goals is a method. It is an abbreviation. Each letter of the word SMART have a meaning. So S, specific. Your goal must be clear and well defined. Be specific in your goal. In setting your goal, you must pick specific one. For example, I want to buy food. Oh, your goal is to buy food. When we say specific, you will have your goal to I want to buy. You will set in your goal that you want to buy, for example, fruit. No. For example, your goal is you want to buy some gyupsal. Oh. So, be sure to have your goal be specific. Then, next is letter M. Measurable. Measurability applies to both the end result and the milestones along the way to attaining a goal. Your goal must be measurable, observable, or can be tracked. For example, you want to buy some gypsal. If that is your goal, then you must measure and observe what will you do to achieve that goal, and what is the things that you need to do to achieve that goal. That is what it means in measurable. Next is A for attainable. You should ensure that the goals you set are achievable. You must never set a goal that you can't achieve. For example, I want to go to the moon. Your goal is you want to go to the moon, but if we speaking in reality, can you do it? Can you go to the moon? Of course not. You're not some rich guy. Even rich guy can't afford. I can't go to moon simply. It's too complex. Your goal must be something that within range of your capability. Oh, that's it. Your goal must be in line with your strength and skills. Next is relevant. For letter R, goal should be to the direction you want your life and career to take. For example, I want to be a successful seafarer someday. So, my goals must be in line with it. For example, my goal is my main goal or my main career that I want to take is to be a successful seaman. Then my goal is to have a good grade, and then next is to get scholarship, and then next is to be one of the top students of this school. The next is gain trust from a company so that my future will be insured. That's what you mean when we say relevant. Your goals must be in line with what you want to do with your life later on. Lastly is letter T for time bound. Your goals must have a deadline. You must set a time frame for your goal, then make sure that you can achieve the goal at the time frame you set it with. So, So from the word itself, time bound, you must put a duration or time frame when you can achieve a certain goal. For example, again, we go to there, good grades. You want to have a good grades. Then the time bound for it is what shall we say per semester. So how long is a semester, or how long is each how long ex, ex, each exam takes. So for example, I want to set my goal. I want to have a good grades in preliminary examination. So ganang I want to have, your goal is you want to have a good grade. Then the time frame is preliminary exams. So that's what it means, that you have to accomplish your goal within a certain time frame, so that kanang it is what shall I call this? It is hapsay na lang. Hapsay. It is hapsay. And there's no libog to your schedule. There's no kanang hassle to your kanang set of goals. So that's all. Salamat sa tanan.
Good morning, everyone. So now my topic is all about Adler's type, final goals, superiority, and success. So first, we will just have a background information about who is Alfred Adler. Alfred Adler was an Austrian physician and psychiatrist who is best known for forming the school of thoughts known as the individual psychology. He is also remembered for his concept of inferiority complex, which he believed played an important part in the formation of personality. So that is the background information about Alfred Adler. Now, let us tackle about my topic, which is Alfred Adler's type, final goals, superiority, and success. Alfred Adler believed that the first tenet of Adlerian theory is the one dynamic force behind people's behavior is the striving for success or superiority. So let's dig up. How come that the striving for success leads a person to change its behavior on its environment? First, it causes us to think and act differently. 2, it causes us to become more creative and causes us to collaborate more effectively. Seeing opportunities where we never saw them before. Success causes us to dream even bigger, setting goals we never would have considered possible. So furthermore, Alfred Adler mentioned striving for success to describe actions of people who are motivated by highly developed social interests, regardless of the situation or consequences they are facing. Striving each individual is guided by a final goal or the goal of success, which they really want. Therefore, there is no impossible for a person who is setting goal to reach success in his life. Because once a person is really motivated and desperate to reach his goals to become successful, he or she will really make a strategy to reach that goal. Also, Alfred Adler identified 2 general avenues of striving for success. The first is social non-productive attempt to gain to superiority and success. 2. Involves social interests and is aimed success or protection for every striving for personal superiority and success of a person. Some people strive for superiority and success with little or no concern for others, or let's say that they are focused to their goal and ready to do whatever it takes um, just to have superiority and success. And also, their goal are personal ones, and their striving are motivated largely exaggerated feelings and personal things. Adler used several terms in order to strive for motivation and gain success. One of those, aggression. Aggression was the dynamic power behind all motivation, but he soon became dissatisfied with the term after rejecting aggression as a single motivational force. Second, Alfred Adler used the term masculine protest, which implied will to improve power on the domination of others. However, he soon abandoned masculine protest as a universal drive, while continuing to give it a limited role in his theory of success and superiority. So, in addition, Alfred Adler has terms that he used to fit exactly for striving for success or superiority. It is stated that he limited striving for success over others and introduced terms striving for success to describe actions of people uh, who are motivated, highly develop social interest regardless of the motivation to final goal. The person with a strive for success mindset has goals and puts forth effort to reach those goals. Uh, the drive to success is strong indicator of persistence, sustained efforts, and accomplishing what one sets out to do. In contrast to people who strive for personal gain are those psychological healthy people who are motivated by social interest and the success of all humankind. These healthy individuals are concerned with goals beyond themselves, are capable of helping others without demanding or expecting a personal payoff, and are able to see others not as opponents but as a people who strive for success rather than personal superiority. So, that's all for my topic about Adler's final goal, superiority, and success. Thank you.
Hi, good day. I'm Eacemb Alane Quimod, and today I will going to tackle the goal orientation theory. So the goal orientation theory has two most basic goals, which are the performance goal and the mastery goal. So the performance goal and mastery goal has also its two types, which are performance approach orientation and performance avoidance orientation, mastery approach orientation, and mastery avoidance orientation. So, as we go through my topic, I hope you will learn something and understand to our report. So, what is goal orientation theory? Goal orientation theory is a social cognitive theory of achievement motivation, whereas other motivational theories examines students' beliefs about their success and failures. So the goal orientation theory examines the reason why students engage in their academic work. So in other words, goal orientation theory refers to a person's behavior towards developing or validating their ability to achieve or perform something. So, goal orientation theory explores the motivation behind the student's achievement. So, those with strong goal orientation will be able to accurately judge the effects of reaching the goal as well as the ability to fulfill that particular strategic or tactical goal with current resources and skills. So as a student, we need to familiarize, or we need to at least know what is goal orientation theory. This goal orientation theory have been labeled performance goal and mastery goal. So under the performance goal, there are two types of it: the performance approach orientation and performance avoidance orientation. So that's what I've said earlier. So performance approach orientation means that the goal is to demonstrate competence by performing well. So the best example for this is doing better than others. So example, me myself, I want to demonstrate to my instructor and to my classmates that I'm the best in this class to prove my high ability. So that's what it means. So next, the performance avoidance orientation. So from the word of it, avoidance, the goal of it is to avoid demonstrating incompetence. So it's the opposite to the approach. So it simply means that you want to avoid the negative judgment. So example, I will avoid such situations that I may appear incapable or stupid in front of the others. So let's proceed. And now let's talk about mastery approach orientation and mastery avoidance orientation. The goal of mastery approach orientation is to strive to master a task. So example, I will strive hard to learn as much as possible in this school year, because the focus of mastery goal is gaining something for you to remember. So next is the mastery avoidance orientation. Mastery avoidance orientation is to avoid misunderstanding and failing to learn as much as possible. So again, it's the opposite to mastery approach. So in this, it focuses on avoiding doing worse than before. So I will worry that I may not learn all that I possibly could in the class because I'm busy or I'm not entering the class or etc. So that's all for my report. I hope you learned something. Thank you.
Good day everyone. I am Andrew Bongo and I am here to report about self-efficacy and ways to build it. One factor in setting and pursuing goals is your capability to stay committed and make your dreams come true. Let's talk about the concept, and in psychology we call that a self-efficacy, which was proposed by Albert Bandura. Self-efficacy is the person's belief about his capacity to exercise some measures of control over his behavior and over events that takes place around him or her. Sounds a bit complex, but in layman's terms, if you have a high self-efficacy, then means that you believe that you'll be able to do whatever you want to do, and people who have low self-efficacy may believe that they are not skilled enough to do what you're asking them to do. For example, public speaking is a good example for this one. There are people who believe that they are efficacious enough to engage in public speaking. Hence, they will no longer hesitate if you ask them to speak. For example, I think that I am very good at speaking. That's why I am no longer alarmed whenever I have to speak in public. In contrast, I know people who have low self-efficacy in public speaking. Hence, when I ask them to perform in front of others or to do other things, they may not show the same confidence that I have. But it's okay, and I understand because we have different circumstances. However, we want people to be efficacious is one important thing. In order for you to succeed, So don't expect that you will succeed if you do not believe in yourself. And self-efficacy and being aware about your level of efficacy is very helpful if you're trying to pursue a goal. However, efficacy may change from time to time, from one situation to another. For example, you may be efficacious on mathematics because you like math, but maybe you're not efficacious in physical education because you hate PE. Efficacy is not something that is stable, but rather it's something that goes up and down depending on the situations, depending on the time that we're in. We need to use the skills that we have. For example, I may be nervous in public speaking if I haven't done it for quite some times. However, that may not be the case if I'll be speaking every day. Efficacy varies from time to time. Efficacy is also not the same with outcome expectations. If you have high self-efficacy, you're hoping or you believe that you'll be able to do it. However, that doesn't mean that you're expecting that you're going to succeed all the time. It's also about being aware of the different possibilities. For example, if you are efficacious, this doesn't mean that will be arrogant in the types of goals you pursue. It doesn't mean that you will go to an office and apply and you would say that I know I am the candidate who was going to succeed in the selection process. That's not how it works, brother. Here is an example of self-efficacy in Albert Bandura's book. It says there, as a person is applying for a job, may be efficacious, he may have high self-efficacy, and he believed that he will do good in the interview. However, if there are other people around him who are more qualified than him. So, another example, fresh graduate versus someone with 10 years experience. He may be efficacious that he will do good, but his outcome expectations is not so high, knowing that someone is better than him in that situation. So do not mistake self-efficacy for arrogance. It's about being conscious in a healthy way about the limitations of your capabilities and knowing in what things you'll be good at and what things you're not going to perform. That well, it's important for you to know your limitations so that you can allow other people to do their thing. Okay, now let's talk about ways to build self-efficacy. People believes about their ability have a profound effect on those abilities. Ability is not a fixed property. There are huge variability in how you perform. People who have a sense of self-efficacy bounce back from failure. They approach things in terms of how to handle them rather than worrying about what can go wrong. For example, you like to try basketball. You're going to start dribbling, passing, and shooting alone. You keep on practicing and you started doing well. You decided to play with your friends because you are confident enough that they are gonna like you. After the match, they started to giving you feedback about how you play, how to improve more, and etc. You learn from what they've told you. So after a few months of practicing, you came out really good at it because you believe in yourself that you're gonna be good at it. That's all. Thank you.
Alyssa Omega from BSMT1, and I'm going to discuss the sources of efficacy. The originator of the theory, Albert Bandura, names four sources of efficacy beliefs. First is the mastery experience. Second, social modeling. Third, social persuasion. And the state of physiology. The first and foremost source of self-efficacy is through mastery experiences. When talking about mastery experiences, this refers to the experience one gains when they take on a new challenge and are successful at doing so. Like, for example, success. Going to the beach is one of my favorite places to go, but I'm bad in swimming. So I keep on practicing and practicing until I know how to swim. Just like our goal, we will experience failure to test us on how we will handle the challenges. Failure always happens, so through our experiences, we can build resilience. And to build resiliency is treating every failure is a learning opportunity and a chance for us to reach competence in different approach. The second source of self-efficacy comes from our observation of people around us, especially to those people we consider as role models that can demonstrate their self-efficacy. Like, for example, our parents, they work hard for us to sustain our needs and wants. They are not giving up from all the hardships they have encountered. So despite of their difficulties, it will give us a motivation to pursue what we want in our life. Next is social persuasion. Social persuasion pertains to observation of role model. You are going to look for someone or to be your mentor that will help and teach you on how you will influence yourself to that efficacy. Example, my sister, she corrects me whenever I did something bad, and that will help me to change my behavior to become a better person. Next is the states of physiology. So, physiology means the present state. It is the emotional, physical, and psychological well-being of a person. It can influence how they feel about their personal abilities in a particular situation. It is easy to judge oneself with bias that depends on the state of one which a failure occur. Like, for example, overthinking. If that is your state of mind, then you cannot get your goal because it is possible that it will happen. So, so it depends on your present state, on how you will think in a situation or to your life. So that's all. Thank you.
Everyone, I am Glendyl Arante. Today I will tackle about the Dweck's mindset theory. So first, let's define what is meant by Dweck's mindset theory. Mindset theory proposes that the people hold different beliefs about whether people can or cannot change their psychological attributes, such as their intelligence or personality. In Dweck's mindset theory, there are two types of mindset, and these are growth mindset and fixed mindset. Now, let's define first the growth mindset. Growth mindset describes a way of viewing challenges and setbacks. People who have a growth mindset believe that even if they struggle with certain skills, their abilities aren't set in stone. They think that with hard work and skills can improve over time. A growth mindset is about being dedicated to hard work, effort, persistence, and staying curious, while learning and seeking new challenges is cherished. Growth mindset can be learned and helps people to be motivated and to succeed. People with a growth mindset hold the belief that your basic qualities are things you can cultivate through your efforts. The hand you're dealt in life is just a starting point of your development. Those with growth mindsets relish moments of failure, different obstacles, and challenges throughout life as opportunities to grow and develop. We can foster a growth mindset in others by the type of feedback we give and by teaching them about the brain's huge potential. Role models give people evidence of growth mindset in action. There are 7 characteristics of growth mindset. First, tend to create learning goals. Second, step outside their comfort zone. Third, try new ways of doing things. Fourth, when faced with a difficult task, do not blame their intellect. Fifth, believe that learning goals relate to mastery and competence and lead to increased performance. Sixth, believe that scores measure current performance and not their potential. And the last one is look for alternate pathways. The example of a growth mindset is that you can improve your skills with effort and practice. For example, you want to learn how to play a guitar. So you need to practice so that you can learn and master on how to play a guitar. 3 tips to cultivate a growth mindset. Tip number 1. Acknowledge and embrace imperfection. Tip number 2. Stop seeking approval from others. Tip number 3. Cultivate a sense of a purpose. Now let's go to fixed mindset. Fixed mindset describes people who believe their intelligence, talents, and personalities are fixed traits and cannot grow. They believe that they were born with a certain level of skill or ability that are unable to improve. Fixed mindset has 7 characteristics. And these are: number 1, tend to create performance goals. Number 2, do not pay attention to learning. Number 3, blame themselves for their failure. Number 4, self-esteem is contingent upon their success. Number 5, believe that a person's potential can be measured. Number 6, look for validation from others. Number 7, continue use the same incorrect or ineffective strategy when faced with a problem. The example of a fixed mindset is that you are not good at playing basketball. This means that they are believing that their athletic skills can't be developed. In the two mindsets that I tackled, the most important mindset is growth mindset, because it can help you to overcome obstacles you may encounter when learning something new or developing a new skill. And growth mindset understand the importance of persistence and determination. And by changing the way you think, you can change the way you learn. The impact of growth mindset to our lives is that you can change over time, and therefore you are more open to reflect, learn, and grow from challenges. Because failure is less threatening, you are more willing to embrace life's challenges, take feedback as a learning opportunity, and continue to learn and grow throughout life. Mindset also affects the people's behavior, because our mindset shapes our beliefs in accomplishing something. People with a fixed mindset believe they are born naturally gifted at doing some things but utterly incapable of others. Whereas people with a growth mindset believe they can become virtuous of anything if they try hard enough.